Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. When I talk about ginger in my cooking classes, most people think of things like ginger ale or ginger cookies. Not too many people think of ginger in cooking, but ginger is very popular in stir-frying. In fact, ginger, garlic, and onions are the three most frequently used seasoning agents. Most people are familiar with garlic and onions, but less so with ginger. So in this video, I would like to introduce to you how to use ginger as a flavoring agent in the case in flavor chasing of my fast cooking system. And my fast cooking system has 4 attributes, which is flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir-frying, and template-based cooking. Flavor chasing is the heart of the cooking system because ultimately we love flavor first before we love food. So the question that you might ask is that what is ginger and how do you use ginger in flavor your dishes? Ginger belongs to a family of plants that include turmeric and cardamom. It has been used for centuries as a herbal medicine, with its first mention by the famous Chinese philosopher Confucius. He mentioned in his writing that he drank ginger-infused tea every day. In Chinese as well as other Asian cuisines, ginger is used as a fresh root. However, in most Western cuisine, ginger is used as a powder, as in the case that you have gingers in this gingerbread cookie. My wife loves ginger, and I try to cook ginger as much as I could. However, in the past, I used to find cooking ginger rather cumbersome. I will cut the ginger into thin slices, and I saute the ginger with hot oil. This will extract the flavor from the ginger. However, that often seems to be hit and miss. I either put in too much or I put in too little. And I could not really control the flavor of the ginger. And I discovered the best way to add ginger to stir fry is to add minced ginger. However, as you can imagine, minced ginger takes a lot of time and effort. And I discovered that you can actually buy pre-minced ginger. Unfortunately, like everything else, it could not compare to fresh ginger. All this changed when my friend Regina sent me this handheld manual food processor. After I saw it, it immediately occurred to me this could be a great tool for mincing ginger. So now I create my homemade minced ginger and I store them in a bottle like this. It usually only takes me about several minutes to make the minced ginger. That will be enough for me to cook for an entire week. This discovery made my wife very happy. As I mentioned, she just loved the flavor of ginger. And let me tell you, when she is happy, I am happy too. Prepping ginger has several significant challenges, and one of them is to remove the skin of the ginger. And this turned out to be far from easy. I used to use a vegetable peeler, but that never really quite worked. And then I used a knife, tried to cut off the skin. That works better than the vegetable peeler, but I end up remove too much flesh from the ginger. And then my friend Sandy showed me this really neat trick. She demonstrated to me how to use a teaspoon to remove the skin of the ginger. This is by far the best methods that I have seen in peeling the skin of the ginger. The teaspoon is very effective, and it only takes minutes to peel a good-sized piece of ginger. and it peeled the skin right from the surface without causing any waste. And now, without any questions, I just don't think there's a better method than this. For my manual handheld food processor, I cut the ginger into small chunks as shown here. If you have a more powerful food processor, for example, that's driven by an electrical motor, you probably can leave the pieces larger. In my case, if I leave the pieces too big, it will not go through the food processor. Here I have probably about 15 to 20 pieces. This manual food processor is extremely simple. And the nice thing about it is that I don't need to have an electrical outlet on my counter to use this food processor. I leave the blade inside the food processor before I add the ginger into the bowl. All I have to do is to put the cover on, and I press my hand against the cover and I pull the string, and this will drive the blade. It is extremely simple and effective. It is a great design. Other than in this case to mince the ginger, I also use this to cut things like onions, carrots, or nuts. As you can see here, it did an excellent job in mincing the ginger. And you can decide how much you want the ginger to be minced. If you want it to be minced more, you can just pull it a few more times. Mincing ginger using this method could not be easier. Otherwise, I would have to chop it with a knife. In here, it took me probably about 30 seconds. But if I chop it with a knife, it would take me at least 10 minutes. Next, I transfer the ginger to a small airtight jar. So from the piece of ginger that I use as shown here, it will last me for about a week. This will give me about 10 to 12 teaspoons of minced ginger. When I use ginger, I use it in such a way that will allow me to control the flavor of the ginger in the dish. When do you add the ginger plays a very important role in dictating the flavor in the dish. If you'd like to have a mild flavor of ginger in the dish, you add the ginger to the hot oil and you saute it. However, if you prefer a strong flavor of the ginger, then you add the ginger when the dish is almost done. And I find the best way to use ginger is to use it in combination with other flavoring agents. For example, in combining it with garlic, in here I also use garlic pepper. Quite often I will use it with my basic seasoning mix. Or I will use it in a fried chili in oil sauce. Really, the possibility is limitless. And this is what flavor chasing is all about. Food is all about flavor, and flavor is very much individualized. For example, my wife loved the flavor of ginger, whereas for me, I am kind of okay with it. But for my wife, every time when I cook, she would specifically request that I put ginger in the dish. And for different dishes, some dish ginger is excellent, whereas some other dish is not as much. Ginger is excellent with almost all kinds of vegetables, but not as much so with meat. This with the exception of chicken, which goes very well with ginger. Some students in my cooking class ask me, how much ginger should you put in? My answer is start out with a small amount, and after you do the taste test, gradually add some more. And good cooking is all about experimentation. For me, with the ability to make minced ginger easily, I now keep experimenting the flavor of ginger. So I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine. And with my fast cooking system, that is flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking, you can cook almost any dishes that you like to suit your flavor. I post a video every day, so keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.